It looks like she's working on our mural today, too. I walk over to her, but she doesn't seem to notice me approaching. She's sitting in an upturned box, looking intently at the wall she's painting with the brush held between her toes. The mural has progressed considerably since yesterday, but it's still only half done, as far as I can tell. More colors have appeared, and the twisted human-like figures have spread and increased in number. I have to say, the style is quite eye-catching and very unique. Not that I would be knowledgeable about art by any measurable scale, but it's very nice looking nevertheless. I clear my throat to get her attention, but not startle her so that her concentration won't break.
Wait.
She doesn't even turn to check who it is. I'll wait. 15 minutes later, I decide that her concentration is indeed unbroken, and also that I have waited long enough to warrant poking her gently on the shoulder to remind her of my presence. Rin turns her head mechanically to my direction, ending up staring at my crotch level.
Oh, it's Hisao.
She can tell? I'd feel a lot less uncomfortable if she would look at my face. An astute observation. Hard at work, I see. The conversation starts as if I hadn't been there for a quarter of an hour already, but it's not a concern. At least it starts. Looking good. It does. The layer of paint hiding other layers of paint, mixing and shaping the human figures, really create an impressive look. But Rin looks miffed.
You shouldn't comment on works in progress. 7 years of bad luck.
Sounds terrible. I guess I take it back then. Still, it looks good. I wonder if I get 14 years of bad luck for thinking that. Rin turns back to look at her painting and pokes it with a big toe.
Could you mix some more of this color? I'm running out of it.
She looks down at a half-empty bowl of the remains of the same pinkish paint in it. I didn't really intend to stay and help her with this project, though. I guess I didn't intend to do much anything else. I look at Rin. She looks emptily back at me. Just this once. Rin picks up another brush and drenches it in another tone of pale red. There are dozens of similar bowls all around her working area. From the looks of the scene, she could have been sitting there for hours. I wonder if she has. That would mean she'd have been skipping school, though, which, of course, wouldn't be beyond someone like Rin. I pour a little bit of white and red into the bowl, trying to match the color with the one already on the wall. I can't seem to get it right. It's really inconvenient of her to not mix enough in the first place. Getting to be exactly the same tone will be impossible, but at least I can try to get as close as I can. Speaking of hard work, isn't that a huge workload for you too? It's such a big painting and all.
Oh, I'm not old and bitter enough to think of that yet.
I guess you aren't.
You guessed right. Legs hurt though. They feel like slugs. Slugs made of sea slugs.
Because of the position?
Yeah. I like doing it in a horizontal position more, if you know what I'm talking about. But it can't be helped. Can't ask the wall to lay down.
Saying that, she stretches herself a little, bending her legs back far more than a human should flex. It's astonishing how effortlessly she manages her body around. There's a small flinch in her otherwise blank expression. A hint of pain, maybe? As she stretches out her calves. Rin must have stamina and dexterity far above a normal person to be able to live like she does, but she's wearing out working on this. Why push yourself so much? Take a break or something at least. Continue tomorrow if it's bad. This gives her a pause. A long one too, feeling like a mental yawn.
I don't think so, Hisao. I'm not pushing myself.
Sure looks like you are.
No, it's not about pushing or pulling or anything related to that kind of thing. There's this boy.
A boy?
Yes.
Where?
At the art club.
And?
He's blind.
Oh, how can you paint if you are blind?
No idea.
So why is he there?
That's the point. He's there.
She really should speak more than one word at a time to make this feel more like a discussion and less like an interrogation.
He can't really do anything that you'd call art, right? But he comes there anyway, and paints. Why?
I don't know. Why?
I don't know. That's why I asked.
So...
He doesn't paint often, but I think his paintings are very interesting.
I'm sure they are.
I once tried that, painting with my eyes closed. It wasn't too interesting, and cleaning up the floor took ages. Didn't try again. But he's becoming better at sculpting.
I see. Maybe she was trying to make a point with this. Maybe she forgot she had one. Seems like the art club is full of interesting people.
Not really.
Pretty blunt statement, and she totally missed the sarcasm. No?
Just like I said, they're not very interesting. I usually don't have much interest in people who aren't interesting. Maybe you have.
Maybe.
But that boy is interesting. Maybe I'm like that boy, or maybe you are. Maybe everyone is. Doing things you can't do just because you can.
That's pretty deep, I think. And tell that to her. You're a deep one.
Nah. I'm a really shallow and thoughtless person. People say that to me all the time. Did you know that I can only think of 4 things at the same time?
No, but now I do.
Right now I'm thinking of the second floor girls' toilet, ice cream flavored ice cream, the middle toe, and a haircut. I'm going to need a haircut.
She shakes her head around vigorously, letting her short and messy hair ruffle widely around. I can see that doing it is something she likes to do. We fall silent as Ren treads around absent-mindedly, poking some brushes around. The thought about the art club sticks in my head for a while longer. I'm feeling like I'm treading on very unknown territory with art. The way these meetings with Rin go, it's as though I'm starting a smoking habit or something. I should probably stop talking with her. It's not like I dislike her, despite the confusion that her being herself causes, and I don't dislike art either. I've even drawn for fun sometimes. I just don't have a real creative drive or any technical skill. So usually, if I were to draw something, I get white paper syndrome and just freeze completely. That, or I manage to draw something disfigured and probably get frustrated at my inability to put the picture in my head down on the paper, then call it quits without really trying to make an effort. Rin clearly doesn't have this problem, but she frustrates me in another way. Being with her is like looking into a mirror that doesn't reflect anything. It makes one question the sanity of the act. Rin sits down on her box again, swaying from side to side, apparently comfortable with the uncomfortable silence. Since she is staring at me again, or maybe over my shoulder, I can't quite figure out where her eyes are focused. I'm thinking of leaving so she can carry on working undistracted, and that I can do whatever I'm going to do alone. It's not like I have anything that must be done today. No, shoot.
Who?
Nobody. I just forgot to tell Hanako that Lily was looking for her. Do you know her from my class?
Oh, her. The mystery toilet girl. That person's funny. I saw her going to the toilet 5 times during one recess 3 weeks ago. I'm sure it's a world record. It was very mysterious.
That's why you call her Mystery Toilet Girl?
What other reason could there possibly be? Well, if there is, it's an internal mystery. I didn't follow her in there. Maybe it was the week before that. Could have been. Looking at her makes me hungry.
Don't say that. At least, not around her. Rin turns to look at me blankly, as if she's not sure why I reproved her. But she doesn't acknowledge understanding any more than before, so I give up at this point. So do you want to go eat dinner then?
No, not yet.
Rin has turned her hungry gaze back to the wall, looking slightly more energetic, or at least slightly less lethargic than she did before. It's as if the wall is an opponent she has to vanquish, something she must overcome before she can indulge in dinner. This is the feeling I get. A weird sense of empathy overcomes me and makes me smile a little to myself. For all her oddity, Rin is pretty cool after all. I'll be going anyway. Have fun. Rin has already grasped a brush and is dipping it into the fresh paint, so of course she can't hear me anymore, or doesn't answer anything even if she does. Adhering to the nurse's nagging voice in the back of my head, I set my alarm clock to wake me up early enough to go jogging again. I made a promise, and I'm going to keep to it. Besides, Emmy's bound to rat on me if I don't show up. But it's not all that bad. My morning alarm goes off, and I flail about uselessly for a while, until I remember that I decided to give morning runs another shot. I don't know if this was my greatest idea, but I'm determined to keep going. This is about my health, after all. Sure, things have gotten great lately for me, but that hasn't made existence so intolerable that I'm not going to try everything I can to stay healthy. Besides, it's all about asserting some kind of control over this thing, right? If I can manage that, well, I can manage anything. At least that's what I keep telling myself. Once again, it would appear that I'm not alone on my run. Emmy has apparently been here for some time. It looks like she's already worked up a good sweat. Just when the hell does she come down here anyway?
Oh, it's you! I'm surprised to see you again.
Why's that?
Well, not many people actually manage to come back for a second try.
She frowns, seemingly annoyed by a passing thought.
Like the rest of the track team, for instance. Still, it was only supposed to be on a volunteer basis, so it's not that big of a shock. And I guess it's pretty early in the morning.
A shrug, and suddenly it appears that she's forgotten what she was talking about. The frown disappears entirely, and she seems to snack back to her previous train of thought.
So, come on then!
What?
You're here to run again, right?
Well, yes.
So come on!
I find myself suddenly grabbed and yanked onto the track. Things seem to be set on mirroring yesterday's run. That is, I seem to be struggling while Emmy moves with an effortlessness that I find enviable. It's incredibly bothersome to be so easily worn out. I know I should be patient, work towards things gradually, but it's difficult to stay positive about this. We ran the track and started on our second lap. Emmy seems to have grown impatient keeping pace with me and begins to pull away. This is where I gave out yesterday. Will I be able to do more? What am I doing here? Am I really just going to fold and let Emmy pull ahead? I speed up. The second lap's done quickly, and without even considering it, I keep going. Emmy looks back over her shoulder at me and grins.
Still going?
Wouldn't want you to think I'm out of shape. Emmy laughs, without breaking her stride no less, and speeds up even more. Well, if this is the way we're going to play things, I increase my own pace as well. I can feel my lungs burning, and my legs are starting to question just what the hell I think I'm doing. Lactic acid screams in my muscles, but I close my ears. I can't let myself fall behind, because that would be a loss. The rational voice in my head inquires mildly, just when we start playing a game. I need to answer it, but I'm having a lot of trouble thinking at present. She's so fast! How the hell does she keep it? It's like a string pulling on my chest, a choking feeling of narrowness and pain. Before I can think of anything else, then, oh shit, the track disappears from under my feet. I stumble, one hand shooting down to clutch at my chest, the other hitting the track to keep me from falling on my face. Emmy whirls around, and her eyes widen.
Hisao!
She yells at me, sprinting from the other side of the track.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Just keep your breathing steady. Calm down. Don't panic. Don't panic.
Do you need me to get the nurse?
I close my eyes, shutting out the outside world. My heart struggles to regain its rhythm. Slowly, the pain in my chest begins to subside. Soon it's gone, like nothing happened. It was nothing? No, something happened there. I open my eyes again and glance at the very worried Emmy. I think I'm fine. My voice sounds weird, even to myself. Oddly even and matter of fact. It makes Emmy frown.
I don't think you are.
She seems to come to a decision and nods to herself.
Right. You're coming with me. You've got to see the nurse.
Emmy grabs my arm and drags me up. I feel a bit wobbly, but I refuse the shoulder Emmy offers for support. Honestly, I'm a little ashamed by my own weakness. I'd really rather not have Emmy concerned about me, but it seems to be too late. Heck, I'd really rather not have anyone concerned about my condition, though at this point, it seems to be too late for that as well. I'd like to be able to deal with the whole thing on my own, without being a bother to anyone else. While I'm wishing for things, I'd rather not have this condition in the first place.
Nurse!
Emmy crashes into his office without knocking, but it doesn't alarm the nurse in the least.
Good morning, Sunshine. What's up?
Sunshine? Anyway, he calmly sips from his coffee mug, but lays it down after following Emmy's gaze to me looming in the doorway.
Hisao, what brings you here?
We were running and he stumbled over and started grabbing at his chest. I thought I'd come get you and make him wait there, but he said he was okay, but then I thought you should see him anyway, and...
Easy there, Emmy. Calm down. Hisao, what happened?
I don't know. We were running, and then my chest started hurting like that time before, but it went away after a few seconds. It was just a flutter or something. The nurse frowns, as if not to say just a flutter is some kind of oxymoron.
I didn't mean quite this when I suggested to get some exercise. You've got to be more careful, Hisao.
I was being careful, I just... Come to think of it, I just got into a race with a member of the track team. Doesn't seem as well-reasoned as I thought it would.
You just what?
Yeah, that is... I was racing Emmy.
Emmy, is this true?
Emmy fidgets, looking adorably contrite.
Well...
Finally, she can't seem to bring herself to say it aloud, and merely nods. The nurse sighs and rubs at his forehead with one hand, tiredly.
Emmy, you've got to be more sensitive to the limits of others. I don't know if he told you, but Hisao has a bad heart, and getting him to race you was incredibly irresponsible.
Actually, I started it. The nurse is stunned by my statement.
You what?
We were just running, and Amy started to pull away, so I sped up to catch her. The nurse stares at the ceiling, mutters a prayer for patience to some god or another, and looks back down at the both of us.
So you're both stupid. That's a comfort, I guess. Now come on, Hisao. I've got to make sure your heart's not going to explode or something.
I dutifully obey and follow him to the adjacent room where we ascertain that I am, in fact, not going to keel over and die.
So how does it feel?
I don't know, nothing much. Tired, but it might just be from the exercise.
You should stay here for a few hours and rest, and we'll see how you feel after that.
I'm not going to object, so I lie down in the infirmary bed. A thoroughly miserable Emmy comes in after getting an earful from the nurse in the other room. I couldn't hear what he said through the closed door, but I'm sure it wasn't pleasantries.
Look, I'm really sorry. I should have been more careful.
Hey, you didn't know. It's not your fault. She looks awfully down and sorry, and my reassurances don't do anything much to cheer her up.
I want to make it up to you.
Again with that decisive nod.
So you have to come to lunch with me. I'll bring it for you, okay? Something really good.
I start with a, you don't have to, but then shut up, and just nod at her when I see her face.
Good. We meet at the roof.
We?
Yep. The weather's nice now, so the roof's a great spot for lunch, you know.
I see.
You'll come, right? You wouldn't deny me the chance to make it up to you.
Of course not.
Great! See you there!
I stay afloat somewhere between asleep and awake, feeling completely drained. Not only my body, but all of me is limp and paralyzed, apart from my senses. I swallow with difficulty, and I try to lie as still as I can, which in this state is not a very hard thing to do.
That's the project.